What would you do if tomorrow morning you woke up as a billionaire? Think about it. Unlimited money, no financial stress, the kind of freedom most people only dream about. Luxury cars, private jets, a life where you never have to check your bank account again. Sounds perfect, right? Wrong. Because the moment you become a billionaire, your life doesn't get easier. It becomes more controlled, more strategic, and far more dangerous. Because now, you're not just rich, you're visible, you're valuable. And whether you realize it or not, you've just entered a game where everyone wants a piece of you. Now here's the interesting part. Ask anyone what they would do if they suddenly became a billionaire. And almost everyone gives the same answers. I'll travel the world. I'll buy everything I want. I'll never work again. Some say, I'll finally relax. I'll enjoy life. I'll do nothing. And on the surface, it sounds logical. Because when you've spent your entire life chasing money, you start believing that money is the finish line. That once you have it, everything becomes easy. No stress, no pressure, no problems. But here's the reality. This is how poor people imagine wealth. They imagine money as an escape from effort, from responsibility, from struggle. But money was never designed to remove problems. It was designed to upgrade them. Small problems become bigger decisions. Simple choices become high-stakes moves. And the life you thought would become easier becomes more complex, more demanding, and far less predictable. Because at that level, you're not escaping the game, you're entering a completely different one. Now let's move past the fantasy and step into reality. Day one as a billionaire. You wake up. Same room, same morning, but something feels different. Your phone doesn't stop vibrating. One notification, then another, then hundreds. Messages, emails, calls, bankers, lawyers, financial advisors, investment firms. People you've never met suddenly need your attention. Media requests, interview offers, business proposals. Everyone wants access. Because overnight, your identity has changed. You're no longer just a person. You're an asset, a source of capital, a gateway to opportunity. And with that comes a new reality. You are now a target, not just for opportunity, but for influence, for persuasion, and sometimes for manipulation. Because the moment you have money, people stop seeing you as a person and start seeing you as an opportunity. Every conversation has a motive. Every introduction has a purpose. Every relationship comes with invisible expectations. And if you don't see it, you don't control it. This is the first lesson of wealth. Access is not neutral. It is strategic. And the more you have, the more people will try to position themselves around you.
Now, something else begins to change. Your time. The one thing you thought money would give you more of. But instead, it starts disappearing. Because billionaires don't relax. They don't wake up and wonder what to do with their day. Their day is already decided before it even begins. Meetings, back-to-back, decisions, constant, risk management, non-stop. Every hour is allocated. Every decision carries weight. Because at this level, small mistakes create massive consequences. Now, compare that to how most people think about freedom. They believe freedom means no work, no pressure, no responsibility, just time to do nothing. But that's not freedom, that's escape. Real freedom is choosing what problems to solve, because problems never disappear, they evolve. At lower levels, you solve survival problems. At higher levels, you solve strategic ones. And that requires focus, discipline, and constant attention. So no, you don't stop working. You stop doing meaningless work. You stop trading time for survival and start investing time for control. Because at this level, time isn't something you spend, it's something you deploy.
Now this is where everything changes. Not your lifestyle, not your environment, your mind. Because the biggest shift is psychological. Up until now, your entire life has been built around one question. How do I earn money? How do I work more, save more, make more? But at this level, that question becomes irrelevant because you're no longer thinking about earning money. You start thinking, where should money flow? And that one shift changes everything. Because now you're not focused on effort, you're focused on systems. Systems that generate, systems that scale, systems that operate without your constant involvement. This is where leverage enters the game. Not just your time, but other people's time. Not just your effort, but capital, networks, technology. Everything becomes a multiplier. And with leverage comes control. Control over outcomes, control over direction, control over where attention and money move next. Because at this level, you don't chase money. You position yourself where money comes to you. Opportunities start finding you. Deals start coming to you. Because you are no longer a participant, you become a point of attraction, a center where value flows. And once you reach this stage, you realize something most people never understand. Money was never the goal. Position was. But there's something else that no one talks about. The part of wealth that doesn't look good on the surface. The part that slowly changes everything. Trust. It becomes fragile. Because now you don't know who is real and who is performing. People around you start behaving differently, not because you changed, but because your value did. Some want something, some need something, and almost everyone expects something. Conversations feel normal, but carry hidden intentions. Friendships start to feel transactional. And slowly, you begin to notice a pattern. The higher you go, the fewer real people remain. Because authenticity doesn't scale with wealth. Access does. And with access comes pressure. Pressure to perform. Pressure to maintain your image. Pressure to stay relevant. Because now, your life is not just private. It's observed, judged, analyzed. Every move can affect your reputation. Every decision can create consequences beyond you. One mistake can become public, and once it is, you don't control the narrative anymore. Because wealth brings visibility, and visibility brings scrutiny. So while the world sees power, what they don't see is the isolation behind it. A space where you have everything, but trust becomes rare.
Now here's the part that surprises most people. Billionaires don't live the way you think. Yes, they have access to luxury, but most of them don't prioritize it because at this level, flashiness becomes irrelevant. What matters is control. Control over assets, control over capital, control over systems, because that's where real power sits, not in what you consume, but in what you own. This is the difference between two completely different mindsets, consumption and ownership. Most people spend money to improve their lifestyle. They buy things that make them feel successful, but billionaires acquire things that make them more powerful. Assets, investments, businesses, things that generate more money, more influence, more control. Because at this level, money is no longer used for comfort, it's used for expansion. So no, they don't spend money, they deploy it. They move it into opportunities, into systems, into structures that continue working long after they stop.
And that's why their wealth doesn't decrease, it compounds. Because every dollar is treated like a soldier, not something to enjoy, but something to send into the field to bring back more. Now, after seeing all of this, a deeper truth begins to appear. The difference was never money, not the amount, not the level, because money is only a tool. What actually separates people is how they think, how they decide, how they respond, how they see the future. At lower levels, decisions are emotional, impulsive, reactive, driven by fear, desire, and short-term comfort. But at higher levels, everything changes. Decisions become calculated, measured, strategic, not based on emotion, but on outcomes. Because emotional control becomes essential. You can't panic, you can't rush, you can't react impulsively, because one emotional decision can cost millions. And beyond that comes something even more powerful: long-term thinking. The ability to see not just what happens today, but what unfolds over years, to delay gratification, to sacrifice comfort, to position yourself for outcomes most people can't even imagine. And this is where the real divide appears, because if you take money and give it to someone without upgrading their thinking, nothing changes. The habits remain, the patterns repeat, and eventually the money disappears. That's why give a poor mindset $1 billion and it will disappear, because wealth is not sustained by income, it's sustained by decisions, and if those decisions don't change, the outcome won't either. So in the end, it was never about becoming a billionaire, it was about becoming the kind of person who can think like one.
So after everything you've seen, the cars, the money, the pressure, the systems, the isolation, there's only one real question left. Not, do you want to be a billionaire, but can you think like one? Because that's where the real difference begins. So if you want to live like a billionaire, don't chase money, don't run after numbers, don't build your life around income. Start thinking differently, start seeing differently, start deciding differently. Because wealth is not created by effort alone, it's created by perspective. And once that perspective shifts, everything else follows. So remember this: money doesn't change your life, it reveals who you already are. If your mindset is weak, money will expose it. If your thinking is strong, money will amplify it. That's the truth most people avoid, and the few who understand it operate on a completely different level. So if you understand this, you're already ahead of 99%, not because of what you have, but because of how you think.